Alright, so today I want to look at some of the more technical aspects of some of Falke's frame traps, her crouching heavy punch specifically, some tech that is useful for her and is sort of detrimental, so let's get into it. So as I've stated in some previous video, where is it? There we go. In previous videos, there's a few issues with a lot of her frame traps off of standing medium punch in particular. Her light frame traps are okay. Due to the nerf on her gunshot startup speed, her say like crouching light punch into gunshot, even on counter hit, doesn't always combo anymore at certain distances. So say she does like standing medium punch and then crouching light punch into her gunshot, it's not going to even if I like reversal with like a 3-frame or something and it catches me because it's a frame trap, it gets a counter hit, the gunshot still isn't going to combo off of it at the range that you'll be at after blocking standing medium punch. If they reversal with a crouching button, it will, because they're slightly closer to you due to the extended hurt box during the crouching animation. But if they reversal with a standing button, gunshots aren't going to combo off of any of her lights. Which means that she has a very limited number of actually legitimate frame trap options off of her standing medium punch, because standing medium kick isn't real. It has a huge gap in between it. Then we have crouching medium kick. So standing medium punch, crouching medium kick is fine, but it doesn't really lead into anything unless you're canceling it into trigger with Falke. But what I really want to demonstrate is, oh, it didn't save my just a moment. So to demonstrate, I got counter hit with the frame trap, but doesn't combo, cause why would it? So in previous videos I've talked about how standing heavy punch is a decent option against some of this stuff, because it also has a pulled back hurt box, so it'll be more likely to whiff punish if they like press buttons afterwards, like so. But standing heavy punch can also get beaten out by, like, say, standing medium kick, because it is much slower. And yeah, it's not a perfect solution, and it still loses to some things, like so come in the crouching heavy punch, which was buffed in Season 4 to have it hits farther than it used to, and it has a really good personal hurt box as well for this sort of thing. So it's faster than standing heavy punch because it's 8 frames, which means that it outright beats out if I do medium kick with Akuma. No longer will that lose. Crouching heavy punch from Falke wins. Standing light punch loses because it's so far away that it doesn't actually reach, and the hurt box for crouching heavy punch is really good. It's not a complete solution, it'll still lose to a few things here and there. I think crouching light punch still beats it. So some characters, because it's just making buttons whiff, it's not a real frame trap, because Falke just doesn't have very good real frame traps. It'll still lose here and there, but for the most part, she does have a solution to most options, and crouching heavy punch is a good one. Like most of her frame traps, most characters can just sort of backdash after the standing medium punch with like no repercussion. Actually, Akuma's isn't even that good. Here, let's... yeah. But anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and talk about some other frame trap options and the intricacies of how that works.
Definition.
Alright, here, let's just go through all of, like, Falke's potential frame trap options and sequences and discuss the merits or disadvantages of each one. So, going through, we have standing light kick, standing medium punch, both of which are +3 on block, so that will combo on counter hit. Standing light punch on counter hit will also now combo into standing medium punch, which means you'll get a full conversion. But it has to be done like pretty close to the opponent, because standing medium punch doesn't have great range. You can do like, I'll get to that later. Anyway, so standing light punch, standing medium punch, and then you're at like the same issue where you don't have great options after standing medium punch, and at this range, crouching heavy punch isn't going to reach anymore because it's not point blank. So that's like a safe frame trap that you can do. Standing medium kick will lose to most buttons, most 4-frame buttons are faster, or 5-frame medium buttons. But yeah, you have like 3 options there. You can go for like that, or standing medium kick. But in general, that's it. So you have, you know, 2 hits that will combo on counter hit. Either one of them gets a counter hit, you'll get a conversion. So you have standing medium punch, crouching light punch, gunshot, which will only combo on counter hit if the opponent tries to reversal with a crouching normal. And even then, some normals will pull back their hurt box anyways, so it just doesn't, it's not that great. You have standing medium punch, crouching medium kick, which can be done from further away. Standing medium punch, crouching heavy punch, gunshot, which we just talked about. You always have to cancel crouching heavy punch into something, and it is hit confirmable. It's a little awkward because you have to like, you have to cancel it into gunshot on block, but you have to cancel it into like a knockdown thing on hit, which means that you always have to be like releasing the gunshot at the latest possible cancel frame. So you have to really get used to timing that as late as possible, but also get used to having your other hand react with that before you let go of the gunshot, like so. So it is hit confirmable. It's about as hit confirmable as other characters like Cammy's crouching medium kick. It's about the same window, but it's a little like weirder and more awkward. That's one of the big advantages of using crouching heavy punch at the end of your frame traps. Not only because it'll actually like make buttons whiff because it has a good hurt box. Yeah, so, you know, it works better as, like, if you're going to walk in this range and, like, poke with, say, medium kick or something, you know, you might want to consider just doing crouching heavy punch instead if you're sure. It whiffs for a really long time, so you want to make sure that you're actually close enough, but it has multiple advantages over standing medium kick. Same frame data, but, this crouching heavy punch hit, well, for one, it's an anti-air, it hits higher into the air, so what if you walk in with standing medium kick, there's a potential that the opponent will easily jump right before you press the button, and it won't hit them at all. But if you walk in with crouching heavy punch, that becomes less of an issue because they really can't jump over that. It's a heavy button, which means it has more priority than medium kick, and most importantly, it is hit confirmable by itself, unlike standing medium kick. So it has a lot of merits. Other frame traps that I discussed in previous videos, you have, like, raw buttons into gunshot, because it's plus on block now. So you have crouching heavy punch into gunshot will be the one with the least pushback out of all of the options that you can cancel into gunshot. This actually will leave you slightly closer to the opponent than standing medium punch would on block, which means that if you do this, then it's the window for charging the second gunshot is a little tight, but there you go. That will combo against most buttons on counter hit, even if they're standing. Another merit to doing that, besides it builds more meter and does more chip, because it is a heavy, which builds more gray life, and it has 2 specials in it, which deal chip damage. You can combo off of that if it hits easily with that, or more difficultly with a slight micro walk forwards. like so, which is the most optimal you can do for like a meaty. Because if you were even to say land that, it wouldn't be as much damage as landing this and getting a micro walk combo. Like so. And yeah, in most of these circumstances, if you're, plus, you can do like regular frame traps like that, and then crouching light punch into gunshot. Or you can do like just double up on them because it still has a good hurt box. And even if you're only +2, crouching heavy punch is a pretty good option that beats a lot of lights. Standing medium kick into gunshot. If you this is a reoccurring point, is that some of Falke's best frame trap options come from specifically timing things as late as possible. So like say hit confirming, crouching heavy punch. You gotta practice canceling into the gunshot as late as possible so that you have the maximum amount of time to hit confirm it into like say EX catapult before you cancel into the gunshot instead. Same thing with her crouching light punch, her rapid cancel from crouching light kick to crouching light punch. If you do it immediately, it's a true block string, but if you delay it, as much as possible, it will be a frame trap instead. It will have a gap. But it will still combo, and it will still be a rapid cancel, because this doesn't combo into it normally. So if you time it perfectly, it'll be a frame trap instead of a true block string, but it will also combo on normal hit. Same thing with, say, crouching light punch into the V-triggered gunshot. If you do it immediately, it'll be a true block string. But if you delay the cancel, it'll be a frame trap. And at most ranges, it'll still combo on normal hit. Or, sorry, counter hit. And I don't think it combos at counter hit at, like, max range if you late cancel it like that. Anyways, also, late canceling standing medium kick. If you do it normally, cancel it immediately into the gunshot, true block string. If you delay it, creates a frame trap. This has less merits as like a mix-up because this isn't even plus on block normally. So if you were to like fake them out and not go for the cancel, you're still not at a very advantageous situation to do anything with it. But you can create a frame trap with it. Timing's a little rough, but yeah. And that has a slight advantage over, say, crouching heavy punch into the gunshot, because crouching heavy punch into the gunshot is not a frame trap, whereas standing medium kick into the gunshot is. It'll combo on normal hit, but create a frame trap on counter hit that you can combo off of. Like so. Then there's, say, like, crouching light punch gunshot, which is a frame trap. It will not combo on normal hit, but I believe you can combo off of it if you get, like, the gunshot itself. Looks like only with that. So, could be better. Is what it is. Gunshot has tons of pushback now, so gotta take what you can get. And because it's really close, it will combo on counter hit. And one of the advantages of doing this, and then say like doing maybe another one like that, or something like that. One of the advantages of doing this is that it can either be a frame trap or it can be a tick throw. Because unlike all those other options, this can actually could be a tick throw instead of a cancel into a gunshot. And yeah, standing light punch is not a tick throw. Crouching light kick is a tick throw. It's a really good one, but it's not special cancelable. So the crouching light punch into the gunshot's the only one that can have this mix up. So yeah, Falke has like a large variety of different light block strings and light confirms and stuff. Some of which, like if you were to do standing light punch as the first one, which doesn't have that much merits, but if it gets a normal hit, it'll combo into, say, itself. You can do this if you have, like, trigger to activate into, because unlike some of these other ones, say if you do crouching light punch into V-skill, that's a true block string, but if you do standing light punch into V-skill, that's a frame trap. So you can walk up and threaten with that. If you have it cancel ready to go to make it safe on block. Or you can just late cancel the crouching light punch into it and create a frame trap anyways. Like so. When you're in trigger at any point that you do go into V-skill, most of the time, a lot of people just sort of respect it, so a lot of Falke players can like sort of mix up and get away with doing V-skill without canceling it into anything, because they don't get counterpoked or anything, or punished for it, because the person's just waiting for the gunshot afterwards, which is usually not the case, because most of the time, if it's canceled right away, it's a true block string, it's not a frame trap. This is one of the harder ones to time. This actually can be a frame trap if late canceled. Really small window to get that. And you can combo it into super if you get it.
It's not done. Handle this.
Then you have like frame traps that you can do like from further away that are pretty good. Like say standing light kick is also +3 on block, so you don't need to like be in standing medium punch range or point blank to get it. You can get like you can be a little bit farther away and get like light kick and a crouching heavy punch, and you know look to hit confirm the crouching heavy punch. Which is especially, it's even easier if you can, because it's a heavy button, so it has priority over most other buttons, which means that it's easy to see if you're going to like beat something out on startup, or just blatantly whiff punish like a light. So when you're doing it in this sort of circumstance, it's even easier to like confirm that you're going to get a hit. Like so. Then you have some other frame traps, like I said, every single. So there's some merits to doing like fast cancels, like say if you get a hit with this crouching light punch from something, you know, whatever it is, and you go straight into crouching light punch into the V-trigger gunshot to get a knockdown that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. It's pretty good, but say, so you don't always want to late cancel it, because then it won't be part of the same combo unless it's a counter hit. But you literally never need to not. There's no merits in ever not trying to late cancel crouching light kick into crouching light punch. Every single benefit that you can possibly get from this rapid cancel is just amplified by trying to late cancel it as late as possible and get the frame trap. It has no disadvantages. It's not like more pushback on block or anything. It's just beneficial. In fact, it's hit confirmable. Like so. you can hit confirm crouching light kick into crouching light punch. Like so. Because it has such a massive window. So yeah, for light frame trap sequences, you have like crouching light kick, crouching light punch into, say, like crouching heavy punch to hit confirm. You can hit confirm that. It's a frame trap, but it doesn't, like, obviously nothing combos into crouching heavy punch unless it's a standing medium punch, even on counter hit. But because it is hit confirmable by itself, it has some merits. And that can be mixed into, like, say, this sequence is pretty good because it's like, it starts with a light, which means it catches them walking backwards. It can be, it can be a tick throw instead of a frame trap sequence. It can go into a gunshot instead, which is a frame trap and a counter hit combo from the crouching light punch if you late cancel the target, the rapid cancel. And it can also be like in a crouching heavy punch or standing heavy punch, and then try to look to hit confirm those. Or it can be another light, either crouching light punch or standing light kick afterwards, which you can combo even better on when you're in trigger, either trigger, because you get a confirm into a knockdown even off the last light, which sometimes you're not really able to, like. So yeah, if you have meter, you can confirm that. Not really super warrant. Like, I've complained about how the knockdown you get off of this is not really very good, but it's damage. You know, damage is damage. This character's pretty good in neutral, so that's fine. You have crouching light kick, crouching light kick, crouching light punch. This is beneficial because people can walk out of Falke's tick throws, so it would behoove you to check them low after either of your tick throw buttons that you tend to go for, like that. Behoove you to check them low and stop them from walking backwards. And so if you late cancel this crouching light kick and a crouching light punch, you can confirm that they got hit. You can get a knockdown. This will only combo, crouching light kick into crouching light kick will only combo on counter hit to start with, so if they're just like walking backwards initially, then they can still block afterwards, which means it's not quite as good in that regard as that one. And also you can't cancel the second hit into a gunshot, which means you can't have that mix up. But one benefit of this is that crouching light kick is the button Falke has with the least pushback on block, which means that you'll be closer to them when you do some of your other buttons. Like, say, that. Alright, now let's talk about a weird thing that, is, yeah, just a little strange. So, in order to demonstrate this, so if I have him set to block all, the AI, or the computer that just sits there and blocks all, automatically switches his stance to block lows. And he does something a little weird that human players don't necessarily do. So one of the interesting things is that if you block the V-trigger gunshot, sometimes you will be significantly more or less plus than in other times when you block the gunshot, because you'll block one gunshot before you. Like, because there's 3 projectiles, you'll block one before you block the others. And sometimes when you're transitioning from crouching to standing, or vice versa, sometimes you'll block one but then not block the others for an extra frame or so, and then you'll be significantly more minus on block. So if I say, if he's set to guard all and I just do that, I'm +8 on block afterwards, but. So yeah, if I do like that, +10, which means I can immediately frame trap or the other one, because they're closer. Can immediately frame trap them with like forward hard punch, keep them locked down. But as you can see, I did the exact same sequence and he just stayed crouch blocking and I was only +5. And I'm closer, which means that that is less of a real frame trap and it's less safe. So you gotta make sure that like when you see them block the gunshot shot, you actually like, whether or not they're standing or crouching during the transition makes a difference. So like that was way more plus just because of how the gunshots happened to connect with him. Say if I were going to like so as you can see, he's crouch blocking the whole time, but then he tries to walk backwards once he starts blocking. And he's significantly more minus on block than if he had stayed crouching. He's -8 instead of -5. So pay attention to that. It makes a slight difference. See, that time, that was not at max range of forward hard punch. It's just the frames just happened to be perfectly just so that he blocked one of the 3 projectiles before the other 2, and it pushed him back further, so he was significantly more minus than the other times. Usually, see, that time, see how he got pushed back like twice? A little, like a second little pushback at the end, and all of a sudden he was way more minus than the other times, where he's usually just like -6 or 7. Yeah, so that's like a little tell that you can look for when you happen to get more plus, just because of how the projectiles happen to connect. So for other situations, like say you have these characters with these buttons that even after all these different options that Falke has, she's still like, it's still a rough time to frame trap them after standing medium punch, right? Like say they have a button that was into crouching hard punch. It beats that. It beats standing medium kick. This is technically a crouching button, which means that crouching light punch and a gunshot will combo and counter hit. But even so, not that big of a threat, and unless you have like trigger ready. So yeah, I mean, it's just a rough time. So one thing that technically is a frame trap, or once again, it's a little weird, but it's like some people, right when Falke was coming out, would do like standing medium punch into another standing medium punch, and even though that's not like a block string because it doesn't reach, it is still technically a frame trap, because if they push a button into it, standing medium punch is pretty fast, 6 frames. It's gonna, yeah. So you can buffer that. You can do like medium punch and then buffer the second one, and that's what some people would do. But there's an obvious disadvantage to doing this, and it's that you're just whiffing a medium button, like right in front of their face. But you don't have to whiff a medium button. You can actually do something similar, but not whiff for as long. So you can do standing medium punch into standing light punch. And then you can just follow that up with something else, like that, or like that. So you can whiff a standing light punch just for a little bit of time, and if they're pressing a button, you buffer it into a regular catapult. It doesn't work with EX because EX is too slow. But on counter hit, a standing light punch is going to combo into a catapult. And in this situation, unless they do something like really, really bizarre, like forward dash after they block your point blank standing medium punch, unless they do something really weird like that, if they do something that makes them get hit by this move, it will be a counter hit. Because you're at the frame advantage where anything that they press, if this connects with it, it's not going to be a whiff punish, it's going to hit them out of startup. This doesn't hit everything out of startup because some moves just don't extend their hurt box into it. Same as the issue with like standing medium punch into standing medium punch or anything else. But this will beat some options. So you can option select that, buffer that, and it just whiffs for a little second, so you can immediately press it into something else if they don't react. So you can just do like that. If you catch a counter hit off of the frame trap, you know, you get your knockdown, you're good, and then you keep playing. So you have another option that is less risky than just doing standing medium punch, that will successfully beat a lot of reversal buttons. Not all of them, however. There's still buttons from certain characters that Falke is just kind of fucked for here. So to get into this, first we need to look at, like, standing medium punch into crouching heavy punch. Which characters have options that will actually be able to interrupt that? Point blank standing medium punch into crouching heavy punch on block. Who has characters that can interrupt that? Most of the cast honestly does. Like, there are some characters that have no options that will beat it. Minot, okay? None of Minot's buttons. Once she blocks standing medium punch at point blank, she has no options to interrupt the crouching heavy punch. She has to hold that. Same with, Chun-Li to a certain extent. See, one of the things is that most of every character, other than, like, Abigail or really big slow characters, almost every character can backdash after the standing medium punch and avoid the crouching heavy punch. That might sound like a huge weakness, but it was already a blatant weakness in the character. Most characters can backdash any option that Falke does after her standing medium punch on block. But here, let me demonstrate. Some characters, or I think a lot of characters, will get caught by standing medium punch, standing medium kick if they try to backdash. Or at least they'll get hit out of the air. There are some characters that just don't. I believe Cammy can backdash almost all of Falke's options just outright for free. Chun-Li is kind of floaty in the air, so I think that's why. Because a lot of characters can also just forward jump over the standing medium kick afterwards, but she apparently can't. So I think that's just because she's floatier in the air. But anyways, yeah. Backdash the crouching light punch frame trap. Same if they did like standing light kick into gunshot. Backdash would still get out of there. But one of the potential weaknesses of the standing medium punch into crouching heavy punch. This is really good against Chun in general because she has no buttons that beat it. All of them lose. Every single one. But she can backdash, and once she backdashes, and whiff punish with a super. She can do the same thing to Falke's standing heavy punch as well. Oh, wrong one. It's only a super, though. Only most characters don't have, like, backdash into normal punish options. They need to have their full meter. Because the characters that can backdash and punish with a super, which there's not a lot of, but the characters that can do that generally can't punish it any other way if they backdash it. Yeah, okay, so Cammy and plenty of other characters can backdash standing medium punch, standing medium kick, and literally anything else she does. Like, Cammy will also backdash standing medium punch, crouching medium kick, any light after standing medium punch, literally anything, except for, there's two options that will beat a backdash in this instance. Those are, so yeah, if you're reacting to the standing medium punch and you backdash, this works with basically against every character. If they backdash after the standing medium punch, because it's generally a pretty safe option to do, honestly, against Falke, and you cancel the standing medium punch at any range into the Canonen, it'll hit them airborne out of the backdash and get a knockdown. and then you can follow up. It's only like -3 in this instance, and it has a 4-frame gap, so it can be beat out by 3-framers, but it trades with 4-framers, and the trade is obviously always going to be in Falke's advantage. So Falke can usually combo off that with forward heavy punch, or, you know, some other stuff. But yeah. So it is reactable. You know, if you go for this all the time, a character with a 3-framer is just going to punish you. If they know the gap exists, at least. But yeah, this can be a thing if they are backdashing every single time. You can catch them and get a knockdown with that. And also with, forward heavy punch is your only other option. If a character backdashes literally everything else, forward heavy punch will crush counter it. Nothing else really works, other than those two options. Especially against Cammy that has a DP, so even if you were to, like... Okay, technically you can just forward dash alongside them. So if you read their backdash, you can forward dash. Falke's forward dash isn't super fast, so you're still not going to really get that much off of it, especially characters with fast backdashes like Cammy. Not gonna do very well, but yeah. That is an option. But forward heavy punch will crush counter. Much safer to do this read when you have V-trigger. Because, especially trigger 1, because if you're wrong, they're just gonna punish you. If they're just blocking, it's -10, they're just gonna punish you. So it would behoove you to have trigger 1 available to either cancel into or cancel the forward heavy punch on block into the Shrot to be +4. So yeah, that is another arsenal of like beating backdashes, because it's pretty free to backdash a lot of Falke's pressure, even in trigger 1. Like if say Falke's going to do standing medium kick, V-skill gunshot, standing medium kick, V-skill gunshot, you can backdash that. The standing medium kick will hit you out of the backdash, but it'll hit you once you're airborne. You know, you'll flip out. And then if you're canceling it into the V-skill, they can see that when they're flipping out. Here, let me... Oh, never mind. I underestimated Cammy's backdash. Okay, that's just free then. So yeah. Really easy to abuse backdashes with most characters against Falke's pressure, so having those two options at your disposal is handy if it's just like you can't get anything started because they are always backdashing. Some characters don't have very good backdashes, you don't have to worry about that as much. Abigail's gonna be sitting there much as anyone else, so yeah. But anyways, so I was talking about how, you know, standing medium punch to crouching heavy punch is great. Beats a lot of reversal buttons, you know, like 3-framers, 4-framers, they don't reach far enough. And then 5-framers or anything like that get beaten out because it's a heavy button. So it's good. But Cammy, I believe, is the only... No, that's not true. Colleen can also punish this, and probably some other characters. Cammy can just backdash and then spiral arrow. She doesn't even need super. So even though, like, a lot of these characters do technically have some options that will beat, like, standing medium punch and a crouching heavy punch, it's really, really handy to add another layer of, like, what doesn't have a very good go-to frame trap afterwards. You just have to pick one of, like, an assortment of imperfect options, and crouching heavy punch is one of the better of the imperfect options. It's one of the ones with the fewest weaknesses, even though most characters, it still has, like, there's a way to beat it out. So, like, Colleen, if you're doing like this, standing light punch will beat it out. Nothing else will. Everything else whiffs and then gets hit by that. But yeah, standing light punch will beat it out. But Colleen also has another like disgusting backdash punish for it. So Let's see, other characters that I know for I haven't tested everyone, because it takes a while, but characters that I've confirmed don't really have good options to beat standing medium punch, crouching heavy punch. Minot has nothing. Chun-Li only has backdash super. Sagat has nothing, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so on. Most characters have something, but, you know, feel free to just abuse that against Minot, who is otherwise pretty difficult to frame trap with her really good crouching 4-framer. So yeah, then we have something else that I need to demonstrate. Here, I'll do it with this. There are some characters that have, very few, that have yet another option that they can do against standing medium punch, crouching heavy punch, which it would, you know, behoove you to know. And this is just another example of, like, even despite all of these things, there's just going to be some buttons, because it's not a real, none of these things are real frame traps. There's just going to be some options that just you can't beat very easily. So let's see, standing medium punch, standing medium kick. Okay, light kick beats that. I think light kick loses to standing medium punch, standing heavy punch. But, like, Mika has plenty of other things that will beat that. So, crouching light kick, a big problem, beats a lot of her stuff. It'll even beat the crouching heavy punch. So, you know, you're gonna really have trouble pressuring our Mika. And, but the real thing is standing light kick, and Laura's functions the same way, where standing light kick is a 4-framer that pulls back your hurt box up near the top, which means that what you actually can do, and you can't otherwise do this, like if you're walking backwards or anything, you're not going to make this happen. You can only, like, backdash out of it, but then you can't really punish it with anything. But one thing you can do, standing light kick reduces your hurt box near the top and makes it just whiff entirely. And then you can whiff punish with literally anything. So, Mika's standing light kick and crouching light kick beat most of Falke's pressure options after standing medium punch. Anyways, you know, continue. It's just a rough time when you don't have, like, real frame traps. I believe that, here, let me try. I believe that even, like, that, and so the whiffing the standing medium punch, yeah, that beats that as well, cause fuck you. That beats that as well, cause fuck you. Not great. But anyways, yeah. Those are some otherwise useful frame trap / good buttons / late cancel shenanigans stuff to use with Falke. That, for the most part, is pretty good. I would definitely recommend practicing hit confirming crouching heavy punch on hit and then otherwise canceling into the gunshot on block, because that's is pretty beneficial thing to have in the arsenal. So yeah. I should also mention that I believe the standing medium punch into standing light punch buffer, you have to make sure that they're not going to be like, because crouching extends their hurt box, it's probably a better idea to do that not point blank, but when you're just regularly pressuring them, if you think they're going to, if you just walk forward and do like a medium punch, and you think they're going to press a button, you can just do like standing light punch buffered into the catapult. But otherwise, if you are point blank and they stay crouch blocking, I think most of the time it's actually going to be too close, and it'll hit them regardless.